Namaste, Hari Om, welcome to Shevadhi channel. To all those who are celebrating Deepavali and Bali Padini today, we wish you all a very happy and safe festival celebration. And today, let's talk a little bit about the significance of Bali Padini festival. And there used to be a demon named Bali, and who also happened to be the grandson of Prahalada. In fact, Prahalada is one of the greatest devotees of God Vishnu, and during his reign, Lord Vishnu had taken the avatar of Narasimha, that is half lion and half man, in order to destroy the evil demon Hiranyakashipu, who also happened to be the father of Prahalada. So after Prahalada, his son took over, and he wasn't all that great or effective as an emperor. And later, his son, that is Bali Chakravarti. Chakravarti means emperor. So Bali Chakravarti, who is the grandson of Prahalada, and took over the empire. So during his reign, obviously he was a very able and efficient leader. Despite being a demon, he wasn't of evil nature. So he really ruled the kingdom well, and basically he ruled the world. But all the celestial gods like Lord Indra and other celestial gods were scared because of Bali Chakravarti's power, and obviously they went and prayed to God Vishnu and asked for his help. So God Vishnu actually took another avatar. This time it is called Vamana avatar. Vamana means dwarf. So he came in the form of a very little Brahmin guy, and he came to Lord Bali's palace. And actually the guru or teacher of Emperor Bali, who happened to be Shukracharya, he could sense that the Vamana who has come is actually God Vishnu in the disguise, in that avatar. And despite that, Bali Chakravarti was also known for his keeping his word, and he would give away whatever the person was asking him in the form of alms. So that day, after he completed his daily worship, Vamana, who is actually God Vishnu, came over, and he, obviously since he was a Brahmin, Bali Chakravarti went and prostrated in front of him and did the, he offered the greetings, and then did the Pad Puja and everything. And so he said, what can I give you? Because he was very humble, Bali Chakravarti. He said, what can I give you in the form of, alms today? Then Vamana said, I don't need much. I just need space equivalent to 3 feet. Like that means I can give me space that I can occupy with 3 foot. Basically, I can place 1, 2, and 3 feet worth of land. Okay, and he was surprised. Bali Chakravarti was surprised by that request. At the same time, Shukracharya was alerting Bali Chakravarti, saying, "No, there is something fishy in this request. Please don't honor it." But Bali was known to keep his word no matter what. He said, "Okay, fine, I will grant your wish." So Vamana, who was very little in size, he just grew in size, and with his 1 foot, he covered the entire earth in 1 foot. And to the amazement of everybody over there, then he took another foot and he covered the entire sky, and the entire thing is covered now. And then he asked Bali Chakravarti, so you said you granted me 3 foot worth of land and the space, right? So where can I put my 3rd foot? So I don't have any space left. What shall I do? So Bali, who knew that by that time, he is actually Lord Vishnu, he said, this is actually a blessing, and I'm really graced by your presence. So you can put your foot on my head. So and Lord Vishnu is also pleased by his bhakti or devotion, and he said, okay, fine, I'll do it. And he said, because you are so such a good ruler, and you are keeping your word, you're very kind as well, and you respect elders and you keep your word. So what can I grant you as a wish? So Bali Chakravarti says, can you grant me a wish that I can come to earth every year once, and so that I can see how my people are doing, because he ruled the kingdom, right? So he wanted to make sure that all his people are doing well. So that is the wish that he requested. So Lord Vishnu granted his wish, and he put his foot on Bali Chakravarti's head, and he pushed him to the Padala Loka, or the ground underneath, underworld, what they call as underworld. So just like his grandfather Prahalada, so he got blessed by Lord Vishnu, and that his life, his journey as Bali Chakravarti concluded that day. And then since Lord Vishnu had granted that wish, so every year he visits earth. So that is the belief that we Hindus have, and he visits on the Bali Padami day, and that is why we light up our houses, and the whole house, and we all wear the festive look to show that we all are doing well. And also we should mean it, not just the outer display, but inside also. We kind of like try to cleanse our, just like how we clean the houses, we should do the internal cleansing as well, and let the good energy and the right qualities grow within us every day as we celebrate the festival. So that is the significance of this Bali Padami festival. And that said, as part of the celebration, right, we that too this year, year 2020, because of the pandemic, we are not really meeting with our friends, relatives, and because of the scare. But thanks to the social media, we all greet people. We can do video calling or message. So many options. But still, in the in couple of not that far ago, like maybe a few decades back, there was no social media, and there was no email either. And then we would write letters to each other, and that actually involved more. You needed to be really wanting to do that thing, and you needed to have that diligence and commitment, because you had to take a pencil and pen or a paper, and write it down, address it, mail it, and that had its own charm, I think. And that is kind of the classic means of communication that will never go out of fashion. But because of the social media, it is quick and easy, and sometimes we can just forward a message that we would receive from somebody. So we don't need to do any more work. We just click the send button or forward button, it will be done, and your job of wishing is done. I'm not complaining, but it is actually, it has become very easy, so that way you don't know whether people really mean in wishing you or not. So it just becomes very superficial, if you ask me. So I really appreciate those who take their time and wish people, it could be just a single line, and when it comes from that person to you directly, right, that means a lot. It is not just forward or a send message in that. So we can still use the social media tools, but tool is only as good as its users, as we say, right? But why I'm talking about this is there's still some people who even today handwrite the greetings. That is really something that I really appreciate and cherish. And that person, one of the people that I know is happens to be my high school classmate's father. Okay, every major festival that we celebrate, he handwrites a letter. Okay, and that is so nice of him. And he just in that letter he talks about why we are celebrating it and the significance of the festival, and the day, how we celebrate it, and he wishes everybody health, happiness, and wealth. So that is the thing. So I wanted to read that letter today, and that letter is in Kannada and my mother tongue, and I have posted the letter in this video as well. To non-Kannada speaking viewers, I'm just going to say what is the gist of that letter, and then I'm going to read that letter in Kannada. And thank you, Avinash, and my pranam and regards to your father, Shri Anantara, and please, I look forward to these letters every festival, and thank you both for this letter. And in this letter, he says, we celebrate this festival. He talks about how this is the season is changing now, right? And actually, we are done with the summer, and then the rainy season. We are entering the winter season, and the leaves are, the trees are shedding the leaves, and we are entering that season. And in that period where things are looking a little bit gloomy, we have this festival of lights. And he also says that let this festival of lights not only light up our house, and also light up the inside, that's light up our soul, and get rid of all the darkness we have, literally and figuratively. And then he wishes everybody health, wealth, and happiness and safety. So that is the letter, and I'm going to read that letter in Kannada. And once again, thank you and best wishes to everybody who are celebrating Deepavali today. Sarve janaha sukhino bhavantu. ಕ್ಷೇಮ ಶ್ರೀ ಸೌಖ್ಯ. ನಾವು ಪತ್ರ ಬರಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಸಾಲು ಹೆಡಿಂಗ್ ತರ ಬರೆಯೋದು ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ಕಾಗದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಸುದ್ದಿನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಯಾವ ಸುದ್ದಿನೂ ಯಾವ ತರ ದುಃಖಕರವಾಗಿ ಆಗಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ತೋರ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನಾವು ಕಾಗದದಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಷೇಮಶ್ರೀ ಅಂತ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಅದನ್ನು ಆ ಒಂದು ಇದರಿಂದ ಅವರು ಕಾಗದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮಾನ್ಯ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಶ್ರೀ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಪರಿವಾರ ಸಹಿತ ಸಕಲರು ಕುಶಲ ಎಂದೆನಿಸಿಕೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮಯ ಕುಶಲವ ಅರುಹುವುದು ಆಗೊಮ್ಮೆ ಈಗೊಮ್ಮೆ. ಅಶ್ವಯುಜದ ಅಶ್ವಾರೋಹಣ ಸೀಮೋಲ್ಲಂಘನೆಗಾಗಿ ನಡೆದು ದಾರಿ ಸವೆಸಿ ರವಿತೇಜ ಊನವಾಗುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಮಳೆರಾಯನು ರವಿಯ ಹಿಂದೆ ನಡೆದಿಹನು. ಕತ್ತಲೆಯ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಏರುತ್ತಿಹುದು, ತಮಸ್ಸು ಅಧಿಕವಾಗುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಇದ ಓಡಿಸಲೋ ಅಥವಾ ಬರುತ್ತಿಹ ಶಿಶಿರವ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸಲೋ ಎಂಬಂತೆ ಬಂದಿಹುದು ದೀಪಾವಳಿ. ಒಂದೇ ಎರಡೇ ಮೂರೇ ಸಾಲು ಸಾಲು ದೀಪಗಳು, ಬಾಣ ಬಿರುಸುಗಳು, ಮತಾಪು ಚಿನಕುರುಳಿಗಳು, ಅಲಗಿಹರನು ಬಡಿದೆಬ್ಬಿಸುವ ಬಾಂಬುಗಳು, ಬಣ್ಣ ಬಣ್ಣದ ದೀಪಗಳು, ಜ್ಯೋತಿಗಳ ಸಾಲು ಸಾಲು. ಓ ದಿವ್ಯ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಯೇ, ಓ ಪರಂಜ್ಯೋತಿಯೇ, ನೀ ನಡೆಸೆಮ್ಮನು ಕತ್ತಲಿನಿಂದ ಬೆಳಕಿನೆಡೆಗೆ. ಅಸತ್ಯದಿಂ ಸತ್ಯದೆಡೆಗೆ, ಮೃತ್ಯುವಿನಿಂ ಅಮೃತತ್ವದೆಡೆಗೆ. ಅಂತೆಯೇ ಶ್ರೀಪತಿಯು ನಿಮಗೂ ನಿಮ್ಮಯ ಕುಟುಂಬ ವರ್ಗದವರಿಗೂ ಸುಖ ಸಂಪದವನಿತ್ತು ಪೊರೆಯಲಿ ವರುಷ 100 ಎಂದಾಶಿಸುವೆ. ಈ ಶಾರ್ವರಿ ದೀವಳಿಗೆಯ ಶುಭ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಇತಿ ಅನಂತ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಶುಭಾಶಯ ಪತ್ರ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮನಮುಟ್ಟುವ ಹಾಗಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಾನು ಶ್ರೀಯುತ ಅನಂತ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವರ ಮಗನಾದ ಮತ್ತೆ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರೌಢಶಾಲೆಯ ಸಹಪಾಠಿಯಾದ ಅವಿನಾಶ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋವನ್ನು ವೀಕ್ಷಿಸಿದ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹರಿ ಓಂ.